We got to go live first. Go live first, and then we get into the intro. What's up, fellas? We got on a Saturday morning here early, kind of early. What is it? 10:30. You know, we schedule it for early.
We want to be early.
we are normally land around this time.
Start talking, and then time goes by. So let's get this party started, man.
Tennessee.
That's right. Go ahead, big guy.
Tennessee, baby. Get right game. Tennessee.
Go red.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, this is the OGs of the DMV show, man. We're glad you found us. You're glad you found us. Everybody's glad that we're on. Sometimes.
We live, baby. And we're talking Commanders, baby.
We haven't had a real show in a while. We've been just popping on these live, man. It's holidays. The holiday season.
Don't go there.
The holiday season, man. Hey, OGs are in town this week. We are going to the game on Sunday. We'll be in section 120. Come holler at your boys. Come holler at us. Don't listen.
Wait, what section is it?
I got a hot dog in my hand. It might be a fight.
What section is it?
120,
baby.
Section 120.
They said we be on we be walking down Sean Taylor Lane, baby, towards the game. Sean Taylor Lane. We stop by all tailgates on Sean Taylor Lane, baby. We stop on all tailgates. We raiding tailgates.
Okay. Hey, have some respect. Give us some food. You know, you see two hungry dudes.
Hey,
hungry. Coming hungry.
Hey, no swine, baby. No swine for Big Al. He can't take it. Can't take it.
Nobody. We learned that recently.
Body can't take it no more.
But body can't take it.
Go to sleep and wake up dysfunctional. Hey, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, man. You know, it's one of them days that people have different opinions on, but you get together with your family and you have a good time, man. That's what it's about. So we're going into the game. We're playing the Tennessee Titans. They are coming off a win against the Houston Texans, which is a pretty good team. Every time we play somebody we should walk through, they end up getting good the week before. They get right. Will Levis been a bum all year. All of a sudden, he had a good game.
I don't know. I think when I watched the tape of the game, man, their defense was playing lights out. It looked like their defense been playing pretty good all year round. The offense has been sputtering with, Will Levis, like you said. And last week he made some plays towards the end of the game. But their defense is pretty tight.
That's still bad because our offense ain't running right. Our offense is sputtering. And here's my question to you fellas, man. I understand the purpose and the process of what Cliff is doing as far as having Terry on one side because you're running a lot of up-tempo game plays. You know, you're not huddling. You're calling. You want to keep guy on one side so you don't have to keep switching back and forth. You can run the play faster. But I think it's time to start giving Terry his due, man. Start targeting him. Switch him around. Go in the huddle if you got to. We don't have to run up-tempo all the time. Go in the huddle sometime and design a play for Terry to get open. Right now, we're just running plays and asking Jayden to find the open person. Let's give him a couple plays where he know that this is the lead guy. The whole play is designed for this dude to get the ball 15, 20 yards down the field. It gives the offense something to work for, the offensive line to block for. You know, and if he ain't open, run. It's okay. It's just one play. I just think need to start targeting Terry because you see what happens when he gets the ball. And I know somebody, actually, who really likes Terry. Thinks he's the number one. I think so, too. This man right here. Swears Terry is the number one.
He is the number one. He is the number one. Well, what happens when they throw the ball to him?
No doubt.
86-yard touchdown.
I ain't going to cry about it. It was nice.
Yeah. I'm going to cry about the fact that happened in the fourth quarter instead of the first. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not targeting him. I mean, you got a number one wide receiver. He's definitely should get the ball 3, 4, 5 targets a game. At least every other number one wide receiver out there gets those targets, except for Terry. He has to work for his targets. He has to.
So he got to prove himself every game.
Huh?
It's like he's got to prove himself every game.
Yeah,
which makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. The
only thing I can think of though is they.
How you doing back there?
Yeah, hey, they can see you. Hey, they're like they don't move them around. So because they don't move them around a lot. So I think that's one reason why, because we've all said it. Jaden likes to throw to his right, and Terry's always on the left.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Jaden's probably when he's and this is probably something he'll grow out of, but he's like reading his progressions. I think he goes right to left, and if he don't see anything by the time he gets to the middle, he's like, all right, I'll just do it, and takes off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think a lot of times he never even gets to Terry.
It could be. I mean, he's a right-handed quarterback, so it's easier for his vision when he's doing that. But
also the pass rush.
Huh?
I'm saying, like, by the time he gets to the middle of the field, the pass rush is almost there at him.
Yeah, no.
Coleman ain't, he ain't really impressing me right now. So,
he's a rookie, so he's up and down.
Definitely, yeah.
But no, I'm saying because he's right-handed and it's normal inclination to look to your right because that's your strong side. So by the time you get over to Terry, like you said, he don't have no time to get there.
Right.
You don't want to come off. You don't want to come off your receiver too fast. But I mean, I know what I'm saying. You need to target or switch sides. Switch him to the strong side.
I mean,
why is he on the weak side?
What I don't understand is if we know it, how come Cliff don't know it?
Well, Cliff knows it. When I watched the All-22, they rolling the coverage towards Terry's side. Everybody know that all the other receivers are not playmakers, and Garage Life is right in this case. I'm giving him his credit. The playmaker that we have on our team is Terry, and so of course the coverage is rolled to his side, and they're sitting a spy on their defensive left or offensive right side. Because they know that the quarterback likes to run to the right when he does run. He likes to run and throw to the right. So they got a spy sitting there. They got either a linebacker or somebody fast sitting on the right-hand side of the offense or left-hand side of the offense, right-hand side of the defense. And it's sitting there. And Terry, I mean, so what's telling me is that Cliff has tendencies. Cliff has tendencies, and the quarterback has tendencies, and the NFL defenses have picked up on it, and they're reading it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to change it. You have to change it some kind of way. You got to self-evaluate and change.
Is he capable though? Right now, we don't know because it's not like he's been in the NFL for 14 years. He's a
well, I tell you one thing.
OC.
Cliff has been in the league for enough time to realize that his primary is not wide open every time. The only way his receivers, besides Terry, can get open if the scheme gets them open. You know what I'm saying? And because we know about the Brown brothers. The Browns are the Browns. They're going to do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, what I see in the fact is that the playmakers, we had the injuries, that the playmakers our playmakers are hurt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when we lost B-Rob, it hurt our offense a lot. B-Rob is not recovered.
Nah, he's playing them all though.
Yeah, he's out there, but is he out there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got you.
He's out there, but is he out there? He's not really out there. You know, he's not the same B-Rob.
The reason why I said that is because in the interview, coaches was talking to the reporters. Somebody asked him if he understood that his offense half the year, would people would catch up to it, and was he aware that kind of it happens every year around this time that his offense gets a little stagnant, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I don't know if he's not self-aware or he just thinks that, it just takes more practice or more time, in the game to make it work. But he doesn't seem like he's, unless he's just not telling us, which is fine. But it seems like he's unaware that his offense has grown stagnant over the couple of weeks that we've been losing football games.
Yeah, I mean, most coaches say that execution. You know what I'm saying? That's what those coaches say. I mean, yeah, I mean,
okay, so that's the excuse for Cliff, because the fact of the matter is, you also got Johnson and Anthony Lynn, and they're supposed to make up for the fact that Divided Pritchard, and there's somebody else. They all should be making up for the fact that Cliff has these tendencies. And the other thing I say is, this one I'm going to put on Adam Peters. I've been trying to remember, Adam Peters is also learning on the job. This is his first time being a GM. Because there is no way he should have got rid of Chris Rodriguez. I know they brought him back, but in what universe do you have only one running back that can even partially duplicate what your lead running back does, and you get rid of him so that you can bring up some dude who ain't gonna play, who's not gonna be a difference maker on defense?
No, I think they thought McNichols was gonna be that guy.
Yeah, but he already proven he's not. McNichols is more like Eckler.
We're subject to believe the last thing we saw. And when he had that one good game, we was hoping he would have 5 more. So we started yanking people off the squad. And even if he cut the dude, at least he recognized they brought him back. Okay, so we'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, I recognize that they needed him. Again, if I recognize it, how come you don't? You know what I mean? Like, I recognize that they needed to keep him on the squad. When I think it was JP Finley, and it was Mitch Tischler, he was like, you'd have to cut him. You can't put him back on the practice squad anymore because they brought him up from the practice squad too many times. And the previous times they brought him from the practice squad, didn't actually really put him on the field. They just had him like playing special teams. I'm like, he ain't gonna amaze you on special teams. He's not that kind of player. He's a short yardage back, and occasionally he'll break one, but he's a short yardage back. He's your hammer. He ain't a sledgehammer like B-Rob. He a ball peen hammer, but he's still a hammer. These other dudes ain't hammers.
That's true. I mean, I give you, he run hard. I'm not impressed with Rodriguez myself, but with all the other backs, he is the harder runner. He's not a slasher or anything like that. So if you need that 1 yard and we don't have B-Rob, then you probably want to use that dude.
Right.
To be honest with you. But we're going to see this week because I think he's going to be in the game. Because like I said, Big Al, I don't think B-Rob is fully back yet. I think he's going to be more. He's going to play, of course, but we know B-Rob ain't going to break 190 yards.
Yeah, when he was healthy, it was hard for him to break 90 yards. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's going to be out there, but he's not the same B-Rob that he was earlier in the season. The offensive line is not going to be the same because we lost the right tackle. And our guards have been struggling. All of a sudden, our guards starting to struggle. They must be slightly injured, but we've been dominated in the middle, man. I mean, Philadelphia's dominated us in the middle. Pittsburgh dominated us in the middle. And then last week, they put Parsons in the middle, and he dominated us in the middle, So our offensive line has took a step back, too. And that's one of the reasons why Jalen's struggling a little bit with his passing. He doesn't feel comfortable stepping up in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't.
I have seen him throw a couple passes off his back foot.
Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable stepping up and in the pocket, But I think also Jalen is starting to get a little more healthier, though. I noticed he was a little more healthier this last game. I'm hoping that makes a difference against Tennessee.
It has to make a difference.
What's up, Joe?
That's the whole reason why this guy's changed the dynamic of my squad. We don't take that away from him. We highlight it, man. I don't care if anybody knows it. He's going to run the ball. He's a threat. And other teams knowing that your quarterback's a threat have to then counter that, which then we just got to admit. I'll say it right here. our coaching has been better. But lately, gentlemen, we just been getting out coached, man. Our coaching has been better. I don't want to tell you anything about crying. We got 120% better coaching, but yet and still we're getting out coached, man. Mm-hmm. They know our talent and they're countering our plays, and we are not coming up with our talent to not get or dare I say, trusting our talent. I was watching the other game, Thursday. They would have a guy covering that New York Neighbors was covered double team. They still threw the ball to him. And guess what? He still caught it.
Yeah.
Because he's a talent. You didn't question Jordan if Jordan said, you didn't question him. You just gave him the rock, made sure the pass was crisp. And that's what we don't do, man. We already doubt our talent, man, and we get out coached. And so we sitting there trying to hedge our bets, and the other team is like, good, now we just going to powerhouse on you, put our foot on your neck. And that's what happens, man. And these two of these games, man, we lost by 1 point. We was up by 2 touchdowns and a half. And we got to let the teams come back, and we getting out coached, y'all. Getting out coached.
Those are good defenses too, though. Steelers and
yeah. All that. But guess what? That's what we were dealt. That's the hand we were dealt. Nobody's sitting there looking at their schedule going, hey man, blah, 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 blah. But us. Go in there and win the game, man. Play your talent. See what happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you do. And Jaden has to run. Those 2 games, they told Jaden, don't run the rock. Stay in the pocket unless you have to. And that's not Jaden's game. It's not his game. His game is, I would tell him, hey, man, when we go out there first quarter, I want you to, if you see an opening, go, scoop. That's going to change. That's going to erase the defense's whole game plan because they're like, oh, this dude is running again.
Yeah.
And then we go back to our thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's how you coach, man. You don't give them what they want. You give them what we want.
Yeah, he might not have been ready for that, though. To be honest with you.
I think he was hurt. I think he had a rib injury, and it's just slowly healing. And he was hurt. You know, that's the difference what we saw. Saying all of that, this particular Tennessee game, to win the game, Jalen has to run and be effective running the ball.
Yeah. Well, I think for any game, we had to
Joe. Thank you, Joe. Somebody's listening. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he has to run. I think I was hoping that we would get our cornerback, but he's going to be out. He has, I don't know if he's going to play this year. It looks like might not play this year.
Nah, he's coming back for the stretch run after the bye. Our bye is so late in the season, it's almost disrespectful. There's no way we have a late bye that much, man. That's way deep in the season. I mean, because the wear and tear it puts on your body, or football season puts on your body, man. We need an earlier break than that.
The bye did hurt us.
Mini break, yeah, we got a mini break, but it hurt us, but it's also could help us now that it's so late in the season. We're pretty much the only ones that's going to have a late bye like that.
So they're saying that he's coming back for the bye. He's going to be able to play after the bye.
Yeah, after the bye week, because he was practicing. He was at full practice, but he didn't. They want to give him another week. You have to. We're playing for the season. It's a macro thing. We're not doing the micro stuff. We're not playing to win this game. We're playing to get into the playoffs.
Man, that sounds like loser talk right there.
Whatever, man. You play to get into the playoffs. You play macro. You don't play the macro.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just
y'all always worry about today's game and not the season.
What? Imagine if we got one of these last 3 games, man. Just one last 3 games, man.
What?
All we needed was one.
No, all we need is to win the next few games that we playing. That's all we need. We need a record.
You feel like you feel more comfortable. You feel more comfortable now that we have a must-win rest of our season.
It's not a must-win. The next 4 games is not a must-win.
Are you kidding me? Have you looked? We
You understand what I'm saying? The games that we lost was not must games. It's a must game now after the bye week that we win out or we win. All I'm saying is that the must thing is the record, not the individual game. We got to have a record at the end of the season to get into the playoffs. Okay, so we play these games hard and we play them to win. But what I'm saying is, if you lose a game early, it doesn't kill your season. You play on. You don't get mad because you lost that one game and then jack up the next 3-4 games because you mad or you don't think you're any good anymore. We're playing for the record to get into the playoffs. We're not playing to beat Dallas. We're not playing just to beat these guys. You know what I'm saying? We're playing a record. We're playing a season. Macro, not micro. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but my problem, my objection to that though, Deacon, is that if we had won the Philly game and the Dallas game, even if we lost the Philly game and won the Dallas game, then you make it so that towards the end of the season is not as important. The way that we're doing it now is we basically got to win out if we want to get into the playoffs. And because we don't know what the teams behind us are going to do. And so like Tampa Bay, for example, if Tampa Bay doesn't win their division, Tampa Bay's got the tiebreaker on us. So, so that's what I'm saying is like, to me, a winning team, a team with a winning attitude would have won, maybe not the Pittsburgh. Actually, I'll say something else. I think if we had played Philly and then Pittsburgh, we would have beaten Philly. Okay? I think that we were kind of emotionally like, I feel like Pittsburgh kind of took our heart a little bit because we played them really well. Then we went to Philly on a short week, and I feel like we kind of were like a little down. Philly beat us. That's an intense divisional game, and it's hard to do that on a short week. Because Thursday games are always very rigorous. And then we go to the Cowboys, and I honestly think that our team, number one, they're like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. This is just another game. Number two, I feel like our players who have been on the Cowboys thought that because they knew the Cowboys players that we had the advantage. And they forgot that Joe Witt said, well, they know us too. Right? And so right. I think that there was a little bit of arrogance. And then when Dallas, that game was kind of sloppy, and then we didn't beat Dallas, I think it was kind of like, oh, shoot, this is going to be tougher than we thought. So I think that the whole reason why it's important to start winning again is because, from what I can see, we're a team that functions better with momentum.
No, I understand.
But we need to build some momentum. That's all I'm getting. That's what I think.
I'm good with that. And listen, don't misunderstand me. I want to win every game, but I don't play the game. I'm just a fan trying to get into the playoffs. I'm looking at the schedule and the record, and I'm saying, okay, we still can make it if we win these games. Yeah, we lost that game. Sucks. But what do we have to do to get into the playoffs now? So what I'm saying is I'm taking the record as what it is, and I'm looking at the macro version of it, and I'm saying, okay, we can still get in if we win out. Yeah, it's going to be hard. We still can get in, though. We still have a good record. We're looking at trying to get into the playoffs. Let's all understand that at the beginning of the season, we didn't think we was going to the playoffs. We didn't think we were going to have this stretch in the playoffs. So right now, I'm trying to get into the playoffs, and I'm not worried about individual past games that we lost. I'm trying to look forward to how many games do we have to win to get into the playoffs. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, I want to win every game, but I'm not a determinative of what the game is going to be. So I'm just trying to say, okay, if we do this, then we can make it. And then I adjust every time we win or lose. Okay, so we need to do this now. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Deacon, I'm just saying that we're not playing good ball right now.
We're not.
We're not playing good ball offensively.
Why though, Al? Why specifically?
I would like to say I'm uncomfortable with how much I'm agreeing with Al right now. I feel like we need to let's recalibrate.
We all are.
Al, but why specifically?
I think injuries is one big thing. Talent level, and I think Cliff has to make some adjustments. I mean, between the injuries, talent level, and Cliff not making proper adjustments, and then he didn't get his rookies, I don't think, playing like they should be. I think if McCarthy has some talent, we should be able to see it now. Mm-hmm. If it's tight end, what's his tight end's name? The rookie tight end that blocks real good. I can think of his name. Senate. On the pass plays, we should be having more plays running for Senate. We should have some of these young guys playing a little bit better, and I don't think that Cliff got them really ready to be prime time as far as the passing game is considered. They block well, passing game. So I think the fact that we got injuries, our talent level is a little weak. We know our talent level is a little weak, and Cliff got to make some adjustments. He just has to make some adjustments for where he's at right now.
Shiny ones broke that down though. He said that Cliff hasn't done a good job of teaching Jaden how to play quarterback. Is that something that we could consider?
It could be. It could be because you can't just teach them the playbook. You got to teach them how to read the defense as well. And I don't, if you just go.
Well, what Cliff did was deal with Jaden does well and accentuated for pro game.
Yeah.
So what did that mean? Tavita Pritchard. Yeah, Tavita Pritchard, because isn't that the QB coach?
Yeah.
Tavita Pritchard, like that's basically his fault. It's like it's his job to help Jaden out. Whatever the VR that Jaden likes doing and all that. But then I'll say this too, they haven't done a good job of making sure that Jaden trusts his number one receiver. Like, because to me, it feels like he trusts Noah Brown more than he trusts Terry.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what that is? Now, to that point, I do feel like he doesn't want to put stats, the anti-stat, which is interceptions for himself. So he sees Jaden in the double coverage, which means he has to throw a perfect ball, whereas Noah, with his size, is getting a little separation. So I do feel that. But at the end of the day, a drag is a drag, a turnaround is a turnaround. Those are like almost impossible plays unless I'm yelling out, "Hey, Terry, 5 and out," and the cornerback hears it, and I throw the rock. That's you really have to understand that the quarterback can throw to the spot. That's what Cooper Rush. Did you see what the Rush boy did on Thanksgiving on that last play? He threw to the spot, and the receiver went and got it. He didn't throw a good ball. The ball was 5 yards in front of him. So he had to dive and stretch out and catch the rock. That wasn't a good ball, but it was enough for him to get to the spot for the guy to have a chance and game over. That's what I'm saying. We just got to look. Kingsbury, you got to get Terry in the game. Throw to the spot. Terry can get there. Terry is a great route runner. Terry can get there. Terry give 2 fakes and get there, and then he separated because he has the ball in open space. Look what Terry did when he was in open space. Look what he did. Freaking scored a touchdown. So you have to believe in your talent and say Terry's that good. And just like you said in the beginning of this conversation, you said, why does Terry have to prove himself every game? And that feeling and emotion is starting to sink on me too. Because I'm like, is he not getting the CeeDee Lamb, even with Rush, is getting the rock. Okay? Even with Rush, he's getting the rock.
Well, CeeDee Lamb has been put in different positions, though. You watch Dallas game. CeeDee Lamb is playing slot. He plays right. He plays left. He plays running back. He's even a running back sometimes.
To John's point. So your game plan, you might have to change it up a little bit and bring that little system in when it's necessary. Third quarter, we down by 3. We want to go, and pick up a momentum. Okay, then you bring your system in, Terry on the left all the time. But look, come on, man. God dang it. If you put Terry in the slot and somebody lucks up and a linebacker's on Terry, come on, man. Come on, man. That's coaching. That's coaching.
Let me ask Anunnaki something real quick, because he said that we're not playing big boy football. Do we have the offensive line to play big boy football? Because big boy football is running it down your throat. Let's be honest. Under the center, running it down your throat and making plays happen. I'm not sure we got the offensive line to do that. I mean, I like the guys that we have, but they're not superstars.
We were leading the league in running game at one, but when we had Rob going, but that
was when Jaden was running, though.
Jaden was running and Rob was running. Jaden got hurt, and that was the end of that. When Jaden got hurt, that was kind of like, and Rob got hurt. Both of them got hurt. That was the end of that. And Eckler is just not that type of running back. And he's out for the season now. I think he's out for the season now, right? He's on IR now.
Eckler?
He's on IR.
He got a concussion.
Yeah, he's on IR, isn't he?
No, I don't think he's on IR. You on mute, Garage.
He's out because he's in concussion protocol again.
Yeah, it's the second one.
Yeah. He won't play for a while. I don't think he's going to play for a while.
We realistically have B-Rob, McNichols,
Rodriguez.
What's that Rodriguez, but then there's another running back we got, and he's in there, and he's potentially in there too. But obviously they don't trust any of those dudes, or they wouldn't have been trying out Boston Scott.
Yeah, I know. They was getting people from the McDonald's.
Everybody, man.
Everybody in there.
Boston Scott.
What's up, Big Walt?
What's up, Big Walt? Yeah, I thought did they try out some cornerbacks too? They brought some DBs in.
They brought some DBs in. It was trying everything.
The Lions, they had a cornerback from the Lions that they tried out. That they said, what's his name? That was Newmark, who had been with Detroit. Said Lance Newmark. He knew him. So he brought him in for a tryout. But one thing I say about what Tracy was saying about Terry, they could very easily run the exact same concepts that they like running now. Just flip-flop Noah Brown, put Noah where Terry normally is on the left, put Terry on the right. Just so it's the same. That way it's the same play. They don't have to change anything for Jaden. Just have Terry running the routes that Noah normally runs, running from Noah's position on the right, and put Noah on the left. And then that way, nothing else has changed about the play. Because some of the other things that we're talking about will require Jaden to learn, like to figure out where so-and-so is and have to do some stuff on the fly. And they said that because they like to do so much tempo, that takes a little bit of time and it messes with their ability to run tempo. And I'm like, well, okay, we'll just have, after the play is over, just have Terry line up on the right, have Noah line up on the left, and be done with it. That way you're not changing nothing as far as, schematically.
Yeah, but what Al's saying is they roll coverage to Terry's side. So no matter which side he's on, that's the coverage. It's going to be the coverage side.
We roll that side.
Yes, but every time he's been on the right, it's taking the defense a little bit to react. They don't realize, oh, hey, he's on the right now. And if you go in fast, so the play is dead, all right? So the whistle blows, the play is dead. Terry gets up, and they say they're going tempo. Terry runs, instead of running to his normal spot on the left, just runs over to the right side, and they hike the ball and go. They wouldn't
Isn't that how he caught the ball at the end of the last game when he scored?
Yes, he was on the right side.
That was after a huddle, though, right?
Yeah, he actually was in the slot, though. He was in the slot. That was a planned play. It was a planned play.
So hey, go play.
Once again, they need to target him more.
Right now, D, go to Andy last joint. Go to the Shiny One's last joint. This is how I've been feeling. And I know it's a little more complicated because brothers always tell me this, but what this guy's saying right here is how I've been feeling. Right here. He's saying that you mean to tell me these guys can't practice up a decent 3-second protection. I agree. I think that's the case. I think that, you can with a Daniels. You can't maybe do that with a McCoy. You can't do that with a Heineke. But you can do that with a Daniels. And I like what he said about Ben Sinnott. Where is this guy? And why is he not on the field? And why haven't you used him as a weapon, or at least attempt to use him as a weapon? Outside of that dude running that ball back on us in that kickoff return, I ain't know who that cat was. I know him now, and I'll never forget him. This guy's a machine. But even when I watched the Thanksgiving Day game, he wasn't showing up. They didn't put him out there like that. I don't understand why. I would have put him in the spot.
You talking about Turpin?
Got a bubble screen. Yeah.
Oh man, he used to play in the UFL and the USFL. Dallas got him from the USFL like 2 years ago. I remember Devontae Turpin when he came in. I was like, that dude, because the thing is, it's crazy, but he's not shorthanded in the game, but he's very shorthanded. Well, he's reasonably shorthanded as a special teams player. And he's very dynamic. Like, he doesn't fumble, but like sometimes he don't catch the ball.
Yeah, I know. Well, I understand that he has his hands ain't the best, but he got a lot of. I think he's the fastest in the NFL now. I think he's the fastest in the
might
NFL.
Be, yeah, he might be.
To my point, Ben Sinnott is an athletic tight end, right? But what my man said, he said he normally plays fullback. Now, mind you, how many teams are still throwing the fullback in the play? That right there alone could throw teams off. Like, okay, they about to run the ball fullback. No, I'm just lining up here like he's about to run the ball, but I'm about to run over here and catch this 10 and out because I could do that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh man, this guy's dynamic. He can block and he can catch. I mean, come on, guys. It's not rocket science, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was watching Shay Shay. I think he called himself Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, whatever. Anyway, he said when he first got into the NFL and they switched him from wide receiver to tight end, he was struggling to know the plays. He just didn't have the aptitude for the plays. And he made a Pro Bowl his first year by Doug Elway telling him what to do every play. So I say all of that to say is some people, the practice time, they have less practice time than you think they do. You know what I'm saying? You know, they get most of their practice time off season, and that's where they develop people off season. I think what they're doing with McCarthy and Vincent Knott and some of them younger players, once the off season stop, you know, they got one or two plays and that's it. That they know. You know what I'm saying?
And that's horrible.
But here's my objection. All right. And this is more of a roster building thing. So you bring in a bunch of players like Ertz and Bobby,
experienced players.
And you bring them in and say, okay, this is the kind of team we want. And we know that these guys are all on like 1-year deals or whatever, or maybe a 2-year deal here and there. So we're bringing players in who can replace them. They can develop under them and develop into players like them. Okay, great. But we got too many players on our squad at the back of the roster who I can't figure out they're supposed to replace. Like Colton Yankoff. He occupying a spot. I'm like, what's he doing? What's his role?
But you know what? It's funny going to what Big Al said.
A tight end.
He was tight end. Yeah, Al. Going to what you said and piggybacking on what John just said, that dude was the one catching all. That dude had sticky fingers. He had the best hands of the tight end.
But he a fullback. They say he a fullback. So we don't. But that's my point. Is like we don't use a fullback in our plays, in our play design. So I'm like, well, if you know he plays a position that you don't use, why do you have him on the roster when we can fill that spot with a backup left tackle who can go in there, who's better than Trent Scott? Because there's got to be people better than Trent Scott out there. I've seen Trent. Yeah, come on, man.
Well, Trent Scott's starting this week. Hope you know that, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm nervous. And here's the thing, though. Brandon Coleman, you notice that he was doing better when he was rotating with Lucas. As soon as you put him out there and he had to play the entire game, he showed why he wasn't a first-round talent.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, look, we got too many players on the team who kind of like, you're like, well, why are you here? Like, literally, why are you here? What do you do?
You're handsome bench warmers. I mean, handsome. Look,
well,
yeah.
You talking about Hartman? You talking about Sam Hartman, ain't you? Hair blowing in the wind. He's very photogenic. But what does he do?
Saying, they look good on the sideline. They look great.
Again, those guys are supposed to be developmental players that they're developing in the future for our team.
To do what? They don't duplicate anything that we want to do. That's all I'm saying is like they look like we're developing them to trade them because they don't fit our offense.
That could be too. Could be too. That's possible too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at the Wizards, they got a whole bunch of players on the Wizards like that. Just to trade.
I'm like, what is your goal? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, well, what's your ultimate goal with this player? Who is he supposed to replace? And the answer is, we're not really sure because we don't actually use his position. Why we got him then?
Right.
Yeah.
When we need something else, we need something that is useful. That's what I'm saying. They got roster limits. Get rid of some of these dudes that ain't doing anything.
Cliff's offense has some unique things that it does, but once you catch up to the offense, then you got to make changes, and then maybe like I said, you got to go to a standard NFL offense, with fullback and tight end and all that stuff like that. But you got to it takes a minute to get all your talent to get the level. I think that you got two things going on. You got two things going on. You got the coordinators coaching one thing, but you got people, they bringing in players to play a standard NFL offense too at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I do understand potentially Cliff could Cliff ain't going nowhere for at least 2 years. This year plus the next year, he ain't going nowhere. All right.
And I think that they're going to convert his offense into a more standard offense over a period
That's
of
why
time.
I'm thinking like maybe Brian Johnson, one of these dudes, because he's going to throw his wrinkles in there, and that's what Yankoff is for. But you telling me we can't find a Yankoff later on down the road if we happen to need one?
Well, we definitely need some tackles. That's for sure. We need. That's the reason why.
But we ain't got room on the roster because we got Colson Yankoff on there in the way.
Well, that's why we can't play big boy offense too, Deacon. Is the fact that right now we got our second string tackles are not up to standard. Our first string tackles was barely getting there, but our second team's tackle is just not up to standard. So it's hard for us to muscle teams, especially without B-Rob too, because B-Rob take on tackles and and drag you 4 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Lockie don't like Cliff, man. He's not a Cliff fan.
He's not a Cliff fan. And to what Joe said,
I kind of agree with him though. I kind of agree with him. It's like, what is our identity? We're trying to take identity from other teams.
You're right, Joe. We need to get this because we want it now. And as fans, we can't forget the fact we are not designed. Fans are not designed for rebuilding ever. We want our team to soar and shine regardless. And it's not I'm gonna tell you, if it wasn't for the Commanders having 7-game wins, I would probably be in depression protocol because the Wizards cannot do anything. And so I can watch the Wizards now because my Commanders are doing okay. But if the Commanders was doing what the Wizards were doing, I wouldn't be on the show. It would be like a blank screen over here in remembrance of Tracy because it's bad. It's bad, man. So the patience ain't there, Joe. No, it's not. I want individuals to come in and then at the end of the game say, hey, fans, chill out. Everything's positive. We're moving in the right direction. Yes, we wanted these games, but hey, guess what? We're rebuilding. And I need to be reminded every single game, even after that. If you're not going to do that, then I'm going to say, win, and let me criticize, and let me point fingers, and let me do what I do as a fan who's been here all these years. So that's all I'm saying. I get you, Joe, but I ain't hearing that.
Well, John, I'm gonna ask you a question for this week's game. What is the game plan for us defensively to stop Tennessee?
I think we got to figure out how to fix our pass. Actually, I think we need to unleash the CTE missile, Frankie Louvu, on Will Levis because Will Levis will take a sack with the best of them. I think Frankie Louvu need to knock all mayonnaise out of Will Levis, and then, and I think that if we just and not even just sacking him, but I think we need to do a better job of getting our hands in the air. Talking about Johnny Newton, he needs to do a better job of getting his hands in the air to pressure Will Levis so that he starts to hurry up. Because any quarterback who feels uncomfortable is gonna make mistakes, and that's really what I think it is. Deron Payne needs to make his presence felt. I don't want to have to ask if he was in the game. Exactly. Yeah, he's still on the team. I double checked. He's still on the team. He got a paycheck Monday, so he's still there.
Oh, man.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Tennessee does have some decent wide receivers. If Levis can get the ball there, they got some decent wide receivers.
But I think the number one thing to help our defense out, though, is if our offense starts scoring. Because our defense, I'm not even actually mad at our defense, man. They have held teams, through 3 quarters straight. But there's only so long you can go 3 and out before you finally just, okay, I can't do no more, Because these are, we're playing other NFL teams as well. They're going to eventually score. We can't be in a situation like we were the past few years where we're struggling to score 18 points. We got to get back to where it's normal for us to drop 30 points on you. We got to help our defense out, man. You look at our time of possession, how bad it's been recently. That's part of why we're struggling. I actually don't have a problem with the defense. Even pass interference, St. Jude's hadn't really made me mad. And I think that if our offense steps it up and gets back to what we were doing before, even if all we do is just establish a rhythm in the beginning of the game, get Jaden in rhythm. In the first quarter, get Jaden in rhythm, establish some rapport with him and Terry and Noah and Diami in the first quarter, then I think that we'll be better off, because then our defense can pin their ears back. They can go after Will Levis. They can make Will Levis feel like he got to put a corner, try to carry the whole team, and he is not capable. He's not built to do that.
Well, the one thing we don't have to worry about this year, which we thought we was going to have to worry about at the beginning of the year, when we was doing all that winning, we're not going to lose our OC next year. He's going to be around. He's going to be around next year, so you're going to get a second year with that guy. They're not going to
good or bad. According to some of the fans, I don't know if that's good or not.
I know, but he's going to be around. They're not going to fire him, man, because, he's such a likable guy. This is his first year. He needs to sharpen this thing up, though, because he got to mix it up a little more, a little less of the up tempo all the time to get in the huddle and actually design a play. Not just run a play because it's designed a certain way. Design a play for the defense that we're playing against at that particular time. Matter of fact, at that particular down and out. So.
My man said the Titans are renting timeshares for the Bahamas.
Oh man! So Deacon, how can the defense win the game? I might ask you that one. How can the defense win the game? They might have to.
Hey,
it might be a punt fest.
You got to stop the run. You got to say everybody knows we can't stop the run, so you got to start there, man. You got to start with stopping the run. Then we'll worry about the back end later. But if they're gonna. I don't think they trust Will Levis to throw the ball 40 times. They will if they have to, but I think that we might be able to get a couple of turnovers this game if we make him throw the ball, because he's not that good. I mean, he had a good game last week. He's not that good. Everybody knows it. The coaches know it, and they're not going to put him out there to throw the ball 40 times. So we got to stop the run and force him to do what they don't want to do. That's the only thing we can do. Force them to do what they don't want to do. We're going to put JJ in the game, see what happens.
JJ playing?
I don't think so.
Hey, Tracy.
Master, though.
Mute on, baby. Take your mute on, baby. There you go. Jay-Z, what can we do defensively to win the game, man? If it's a punt fest, it might be a punt fest. What can we do defensively to win the game?
You already know what I'm going to say. What am I saying? What I'm going to say? Listen, we gotta put enough pressure, a dynamic pressure. I want us to go back to the Baltimore game and how they just kept bringing constant pressure. Didn't if you felt as a fan like, God, this is just so. It was on your shoulders. You sit on the couch eating popcorn, but you could feel the pressure. That's the kind of pressure we got to give them, man. And if we put that pressure on them, game is going. That's a game changer, man. That's a game changer. Promise you this, because they're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna be a turnover. We're not doing too bad in that regard. We got to put the pressure on, man. Period. Nothing but pressure. And like he said, if we can get a Daron Payne sighting every now and then, can Daron Payne, show up? Great. That'd be awesome. Let him cook and go from there, man. This is it. This is that game, man. This is the cold red, guys. We're going in the cold. Hey, and those of you watching, the OGs have decided we put our pennies together and we got it out there. We're going to be at the game. We're going to show up because we know it's cold red. We got the old guys in the stand. If you watch the Wanderers, we might come out the stands. Carefully, though. But we're ready. We're ready, man. The old guys is ready, man. We're there, man, because we got to be, because this is that game. This is that game. We're applying all pressure, man. All pressure from the stands to the field. Everybody.
And I'm going to be there. I might run on the field, y'all. And look for a Big Al run on the field.
Big Al's taking somebody's helmet. You're going to see a dude out there in a North Face jacket with a helmet on, tackling him. And you're going to be like, yo, that was a form tackle. You only got one play, though.
Only got one play, baby.
And sometimes that's all you need to win, that look, one play.
And the two old guys hold them on the shoulders as we walk off the field. That's us. So we did our part. We gonna win this game.
Hey, we're gonna get out of here, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody who came on and commented, man. Appreciate Garage Gym Life and his family. Taking time out to holler at us while he's on the
Shout out to John and the family, man. Thanks for joining us.
Oh wait, hold on.
Hey,
Actually,
family.
I forgot it. I'm mad at Trey Z. I forgot.
Yeah.
Pause
on this.
I called you because I was trying to get a Mumbo Sauce location recommendation. That's why I called you, and I didn't know where to go. I ended up on Georgia Avenue. I know there was bulletproof glass on the order window. I wasn't sure. I still don't exactly know where I was, but I called you looking for a recommendation, and I said, "Well, we're just gonna try something." All right, so I needed you, man.
My bad, John. Hey, I don't know what happened with the feedback and the lack of communication. I apologize because Georgia Avenue has been gentrified, so you might get
all right. You were safe,
man. It
not
was
the same.
Look, my daughter was like, "Can I get out the car?" I said, "No."
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll take it,
man.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, man. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas.
John.
Happy holidays, man. Section 120. We're gonna be at Section 120.
Section 120. The three of us is showing up together.
That's right, baby.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
The axis has tilted.
Hey, the sky's going to break. It's going to be nice and warm outside. Watch. Your boys are in town.